What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Forever Podcast. It's your host, it's your boy, Jamar Jones. I'm the founder of Forever Media, a national keynote speaker, and the author of the book Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. And we're back here with another episode where we're going to do something a little different today. Right now it's kind of still the beginning, the first quarter of the new year. So I wanted to just really kind of talk about some general marketing strategies, some approaches to personal branding, content creation. And to do that, I'm actually gonna. So I just about a week ago, I hosted an AI symposium that was put together by Concurrency, and it was super dope. There were like probably 150 people there. Had a great time. Got to learn a lot about AI. So it was just really interesting to hear about like the direction of AI, what people's thoughts were, and we had a unique audience in the crowd. So it was everyone from businesses that are actively using AI to community, just people that were in the community around here, and then educators. So people that just in the school system, educate. So that was like it was three different kind of points of view for AI, and then everybody got to kind of learn about it. And there's amazing speakers, and yeah, super honored to be a part of that and open up that event. And so on this episode, I'm gonna use AI. So I'm gonna use Chat GPT and have it come up with some questions for me, and then I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Is what's gonna happen. So, really, just for context, this I really want to just focus on personal branding, content creation, and just general kind of marketing questions for 2024. Like, what do people want to know? If as you're listening to this or watching, definitely drop it in the comments what your questions are for this year. Like, what do you want to focus on? What do you want to learn about? What's the direction that you have to go? What do you think is as far as for trends for this year? So we're gonna try this out. So I've already pre-entered the prompt in here. So it's just gonna give me questions, and let's see what's going on. It gave me 10 questions. I won't go through all 10. I'll kind of cherry pick, and I may adjust this a little bit. Let's see. Okay, the first one's actually pretty decent. So, how can I differentiate my personal brand in a crowded marketplace that's saturated with content? That's pretty good. Well, first of all, a lot of people think they have a personal brand, but they don't. And the meaning of that is where, a personal brand is really it's you. It's the person, and a lot of people will try to market like an overall big brand or a company brand as a person. That doesn't really translate very well. So that may be why you're not getting the results that you ultimately want. Um, to have like a personal brand that stands out, it's it's honestly the best way to just describe it is that you have to work inward first for the outward to work. If follow me a little bit, follow me. So you got to actually work on and discover who you are, what do you represent, what do you care about, what are those different unique pieces? Because every single person has a gift. We're all unique. And what are those things that make you different? What are your special powers, your special gifts that sets you apart from everybody else? Like, what do you just do a little bit easier than everybody else around you that you notice? And the more that you can dig deeper and discover those things for yourself and then gain the confidence to showcase those things, but just do it in your own way. Don't try to mimic, don't try to copy, don't try to mime. these other people out here. I know it's sometimes it's hard. It's hard to do it because we see an example of something that we want to be, and then we try to emulate what we're looking at, and it doesn't really translate like that. Because then it doesn't look authentic. It looks kind of phony. It looks a little phony. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. We've all seen it. You can smell it. You can smell it. You know when somebody's just a little phony. If anybody's done like interviews with people, just like if they've been in a hiring position and you've done interviews, oh my God, you can see the phony. Just if they really don't know what they're talking about, oh, you know for sure. Um, it's just a feeling, man. It's that gut feeling. So work inward, get past those fears, those self-doubt, uh, just that just overcome you being, rejected. Um, just all the internal kind of emotions that you personally have to go through, you got to work on that first. And the really the top people that we see that are personal like branding experts or people that really just do this flawlessly, or at least it appears to be, they've gone through some journeys, man. They've gone through it. I personally have worked with influencers, athletes, speakers, major speakers, content creators. And a lot of these people, it may look easy what they're doing, but they've really honed in on this personal brand thing, man. Like they've really tapped in deep within themselves, and that's what's going to separate you. So then outwardly in a crowded marketplace, that actually becomes a lot easier. So I'll give you a quick story and then we'll go to the next question. So when I was first starting my business, at first it was all like in the entertainment area, because I just kind of went to what I knew. So like, hey, entertainment, let me just go out to these clubs, let me, consult with artists, let me just try to help people in the entertainment space. And I was really being my authentic self during that time. Then when I made the switch to corporate and started to do some corporate gigs, I started to change. So I stopped wearing my hat. I stopped kind of dressing or talking like I normally do. And I started to become something I wasn't. And what happened is I started to market out in a way that I wasn't, that wasn't true to me, or what overall my brand, like my whole website and everything just started to change. And I was trying to like conform around what I thought these companies wanted to see, because honestly, I'm a small business. I'm on the come up. I'm trying to make it happen. And long story short, what happened is I got gigs. I was able to keep some stuff moving. The problem is my brand was like nothing. Like no one really knew my story at all. It was all just this kind of like video production, photography. We're doing this, and it's and I was like, yeah, we're real cinematic, and this is why you should hire us. I mean, there's no story. There's no story. The moment that I switched back, and I remember a guy, a good friend of mine, I won't call him out, but a guy told me he's a little bit older than me, and he said, "Man, if you really want business, you got to stop wearing the hat, man. Like you got to have the suit and tie and all that stuff." And uh, but the moment I did the opposite, I did the opposite. The moment I started to share that I was a hip hop artist, I started wearing my hat in any situation. I don't care who I'm meeting. I don't care what boardroom I'm in. I'm showing up as myself. And the moment I started to do that, the more that I created and crafted and was able to share the story of myself, which then gravitated more people to what I had going on in the first place. So once I dived deeper into who I was, that is what was the turning point. And where Forever Media has this brand now, a part of it, where people see it and they're like, yo, that's fire. Well, that's because that everything in the brand of Forever Media, and then really that's my own personal brand as well. It it's the essence of how my brain thinks, of who I am, the hip hop side of it, the entertainment, the colors, the flashiness, and then the authenticity, the realness, just all those pieces. It's all me. So the more you can tap into you, the more that it's going to be easier to just share that with everybody. And now there's tactics and things like that that from the outside of how do you market and get your name out there, that's a whole nother question. But that's how you stand out. So let's go on to the next one. Uh mm, let's go with this one. So what emerging trends in content creation should I be aware of, and how can I leverage them to connect with my audience? So, well, thank you, AI. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate AI. So, emerging trends that are really on the come up. Man, I mean, there's, I guess, with content creation. So vlogs was really big back in the day, and now I'm starting to see a new style of vlogs kind of come back. They're not as polished, so they're very free flowing. And you almost see this like on TikTok, like TikTok short form videos, maybe YouTube shorts. You see people just going live, or they just like have their phone and they're just recording their day. But it's not overly produced, and it's getting tons and tons of engagement, which this is a great news for marketers, for other content creators, for myself that are, people that are busy, they have a lot of stuff to do, but man, this really lowers down the production cost. And if you could, these iPhones these days got some pretty dang good quality. So just having something that can just showcase your day and just quick clips. Some people just go live and put their phone up. There's some people that are in a restaurant just cooking, just cooking the whole day, or making sandwiches, and they just got their phone up and they're just on live, working and on and on live on TikTok. It's crazy. And then the bigger companies are seeing this, especially if they're part of like a franchise and all that stuff. Like they're seeing this and they're working out deals with their employees to say, hey, you got a huge audience that's checking you out, making these sandwiches. Like let me give you a little bonus. Let me give you a little something. So the vlog style of content is slowly coming back, but it's not overproduced. So how can you mold that in to what you're doing today? Another way, another kind of emerging trend that I'm seeing is podcasting. I mean, it's just going bigger and bigger. Some of these podcasts, some of these top podcasts are competing with TV networks, with television shows, with like just to give you some context. So the Super Bowl just passed, did about 110 million views, 110 or 115 million views for the Super Bowl. There was a Deadpool trailer. Now this doesn't do with the podcast, but this is just the context. A Deadpool trailer, a movie trailer that just got released. It's closing in on 400 million views. So, and I listen to certain podcasts that a single episode is doing 15, 20, 30 million views. Single episode with way less production and way less overall promotion of what you have to do, as long as you start to build and you build that audience. And with the search engines, with Google and YouTube, things are a lot more accessible, and then the way on how you can have collaborative content and share that out. Just podcasts to get out this stuff quickly. Like I'm recording right now pretty quick, got a meeting in a little bit. Like this stuff is going to only continue to grow. So get on, the trend with podcasting because it's just a simple way to get out some messaging, and you never know how far it can go. This stuff is really challenging a lot of, you know, major media of how we're consuming it. Let's do one more question, and then we'll wrap here. Once again, put your comments, put your questions in the comments. Let people know uh, just what other questions you guys have, and obviously we'll make videos on it. We'll make put it in a podcast. So, all right, let's go through this one. How can I leverage partnerships and collaborations to expand my reach and influence within my industry? I think this is why I wrote a whole book on it. Change your circle, change your life. Uh, I don't think a lot of people don't leverage partnerships and collaborations enough. They, it's like, what's in it for me model. Uh, and a lot of times those collaborations and partnerships can set you apart from everything. One thing I learned when I was doing music was a lot of times artists, like when they drop a song, like it's all about me, all about them. It's like, oh, I'm dropping a song, here it is, download my music, come to my shows, do my stuff, buy my t-shirts. It's like, man, screw you. I'm living my life. I'm living my life, and you just want me to do everything that you want to do. So one thing that I learned is that you got to attach yourself to something bigger than just yourself. So when I was doing music, I attached myself, when I had the real success with all the shows and everything, I attached myself to a cause. So for me, it was cancer. And then creating that partnership with the American Cancer Society to overall do all the shows and all the colleges and everything that I did, and performed all across like the Midwest and the East Coast, and went and did 2 tours and booked that out myself. And the reason why that came to be is because I made myself bigger. I made my music and myself attached to something bigger than myself. So to leverage partnerships and collaborations, think about who would be a great partner or collaboration with what you're doing that would complement very well, that's not competition, but that will complement to what you're doing, that you can form a really good ecosystem. Think of like Apple, how they have the iPad, iPhone, the watch. How, if you're the iPad, how can you go find the MacBook? How can you go find the Apple Watch? Just how do you make that nice ecosystem and find and partner with those collaborations? Think even outside the box, even outside your industry. So this question's about within my industry. Think about outside. What are other things? This is why a lot of corporate sponsors, or corporate people, companies, they sponsor nonprofit events because it's a great way for them to get attached to a cause, attached to a mission. But then as they're sitting at the tables at those galas and stuff, they're meeting a bunch of other businesses for potential business development or relationship growth. So think about how you can leverage that and what other partners. Just write it, jot it down. Say, hey, here's 10. Use AI. Using it right now. Put it in the prompt. Give me some partners. It's becoming easier and easier. So this has been a fun episode. I think if you guys like this stuff, let me know and I'll continue to do it. I will. This is actually pretty helpful because like I love riffing. I like to, just off the cuff is how it's better. It's better than all the planned stuff. So I want to hear from you guys. Definitely comment and like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And it's been fun hanging out with you guys and kill it this year. If there's any other ways that you guys have, let us know. And yeah, we're excited for where this is all going to go. So guys, keep tapped in to these episodes because we got some killer guests coming out very, very soon. Can't wait. We got my man, Sean Hanif, from Gin Flow that we just did an episode with, and he owns a huge agency, $100 million dollar agency, and he works with content creators, influencers, and he creates businesses for them. And now he's launching several other things. So you're gonna learn a lot from that episode. So tap in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell for more amazing content that we're going to be putting out. And don't forget, you can change your circle to change your life.